Welcome to Crafting with Carrie. This is the inspiration for my project today. These are Victorian cards from the 1880s. They are from a grandfather to his granddaughter. They are very intricate and have many, many layers. There are little pop-ups on the top that look like they've been pressed down from years of being in the scrapbook and tucked away. The base I chose to use is book page that I glued together with wet white glue, so it was a little wrinkly and I needed to press it down to make it nice and crisp and flat again. The edge of this pink card really is exactly the same as these Victorian edged Fiskars paper edgers. So I used those to cut along the edge of the base, and then I just clipped the corners as much as I was able to make them nice and round. Then I chose to go for the blue tint for the background color, and I added a little bit of brown. Originally the plan was that I was going to use this Creative Memories border punch to do the initial layer. However, I messed up when I was cutting. I should have just made a space. So thus began the many clips of fussy cutting around the border edge, which turned out beautiful, but there was a lot of cutting and a lot of fiddling that had to be done. All of these pieces I did stamp with the brown ink to give them an antiqued look. All the little pieces that were punched out from that lace border punch I used to edge the card, and they just helped fill up the card. Then for the next layer, I went through a few different pieces of lace and doily there. The doily was much too heavy, and the one white lace, it was just too bright, so I went back to this beautiful cream colored lace and cut it up to create the third layer of the card, and I used a clear silicone glue to glue it down. When I got to this part, I almost didn't want to continue because I just loved the way that it looked at this point, but I had to continue. We were using the inspiration from the Victorian card, so I found this beautiful laser cut paper that I had from many years ago, and again, much more fussy cutting was going to happen. I enjoy fussy cutting. I find it very relaxing, and it helps me to just take away everything else from that's going on in the world, because I need to concentrate on what's in front of me, and my creativity comes out. I get to just concentrate on that one thing, and I find it very soothing and just relaxing, and I get to not worry about what's going on in the rest of the world out there. This lace turned out to be this lace laser cut paper turned out to be absolutely perfect. In the original cards, there's a window that allows an image to show through the middle, and this lace laser cut paper had pretty much the perfect space that I was able to cut out a spot that would allow for a window for this project also. Once I completed cutting the window area out, I just used the same paper from that laser cut lace paper there, and I used a die cut to have the right shape. I had to tuck away all those extra pieces to save them for another day. And used my Big Shot cutting machine to cut that oval out just perfectly. Then I glued those edges together to make a nice solid shape for the pop-up frame. Of course, everything that we do when we're trying to make it aged and Victorian, we have to put some brown color on to make it nice and aged looking. This color that I used is called Soft Suede from Stampin' Up. I used to be a Stampin' Up demonstrator for many years, so I have a lot of those products left that I'm using, and I'm actually selling off a lot of my Stampin' Up stamps that I had collected for many years. So next we are looking for the images, and this is my mixed media paper pack that I'm shuffling through quickly to find some images that I might I'm just going through grabbing a bunch that might work that I can use for the images for the front of my card. I do sell these mixed media paper packs on my Etsy page if you're interested in hopping over and having a look. So now I'm taking that frame and going through each of these adorable little pictures and taking any images that I would want to use on the card itself. And when you find the right picture, it just pops right out at you. So this is the little girl that I decided that I'm going to use for the central image of the card that we're making today. This little girl is absolutely adorable. She has some nice colors that we can pull out with some of our other elements. And we have this cute little robin image that we pulled from a bird book. And then there's a bumblebee that I got from a science book that I had found. And these colors go together quite nicely. The yellow from the little girl brings out the yellow in the bumblebee. And then these daffodils were from one of the children's books that I had found. The fussy cutting, again, is pretty heavy on this project, but like I said before, I really enjoyed it. It did take me over 2 hours to do this little project from beginning to end. Then the top image, I found this another little bird from a bird book page. I do enjoy looking for all the books to find for the mixed media book packages that I pull together. So we just need to stick down our little central focal point. Then we're going to create the pop-up for the frame and the front of the card. I did do an accordion type fold for this card. I just used wet white glue to stick the accordion onto the lace of the paper side. And then when I put the glue on, I used the clear silicone glue for the side that was going to be adhering to the lace side of the card, just to make sure that it would adhere strong and it would stay there. It was a little bit difficult to get them all to line up and lay flat, so I did use the bone folder to make sure that they adhered. And then we're getting to the last steps of edging these little elements with some brown ink and putting them onto the card. It seems like the last little bit came together so quickly. It was kind of a quick end to the long project of the many layers of putting together of this Victorian card inspired project. I think it came together quite well. I'm quite happy with how it turned out, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it inspires you to create something of yourself for yourself. And here's the finished project. I really like how you can see the dimension. Let's compare with the original inspiration. If you're interested in having a scan of these beautiful Victorian cards, please go over to my Etsy page. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and happy crafting.